Hello, and welcome back to the Follow Your Spark podcast. I am so freaking excited to be having this conversation with Erika Merz today, and we are going to be talking all about a practice that has probably been one of the most transformational practices for me of everything that I do to help me energize myself, to clarify my vision, to step into my power and clear myself when I'm feeling stuck or overwhelmed. Like I could go on, and we're going to talk about the power of this practice. And what I'm talking about is the power of energy dance. And Erika is one of the most gifted and transformational facilitators of energy dance that I have ever met and had the pleasure of experiencing. And if you missed her previous episode, you can hear all of her story and how she got into this powerful practice in episode 54. And just to give you a little bit more context about who she is in the world, she is a spiritual empowerment guide, an energy dance teacher, a visionary artist, ceremonialist, facilitator, and prison abolitionist who loves ecstatic dance, deep conversations, and spontaneous prayer. And I am so excited to have her back on the podcast today to share all of her gifts and wisdom with you. So, Erika, thank you so much for being here.
Oh my goodness, Gina, thank you for such a warm welcome. It fills my heart with soul nourishment to hear how this work has touched you so deeply. I know we get to talk about it often, and yeah, it's just my greatest passion to share these practices with people.
So good. So, I would love if you could start by sharing a little bit more about what energy dance is. And I feel like sometimes people may be completely unfamiliar with that term. Maybe they're familiar with ecstatic dance. So, I would love if you could just share a little bit more about what that means to you and how, if at all, it differs from ecstatic dance.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a few aspects here to really bring to light. The first thing that I'll say that feels the most important is that I see this practice as innate in all of us, all human beings. Like as spiritual energy in these bodies, we are channeling energy, we are moving energy and experiencing it all the time. And when we move our bodies and when we visualize things or have a thought or all of those ways of moving are moving energy. And so if we think about Indigenous people around the world to this day and throughout time, people are dancing. They're dancing around the fire. They're using the rhythm of a drum and other instruments to transmit frequencies, and they're shaking the bodies and visualizing, praying together, using a lot of tools that I weave into this practice that I call energy dance. But again, it's really an innate wisdom that we carry in all of our bodies, and that has been so shut down, intentionally so, through colonial violent oppression, because that's where our power is. So first and foremost, it's important to me to acknowledge that I didn't invent this. And I think there's a reason that this like wave of conscious dance practices are really reawakening all around the world. So to answer the how does this relate to ecstatic dance for folks, many people know about ecstatic dance now. And I know you run the Sparkle Space, which is so awesome. And ecstatic dance has been a huge part of my journey. I won't go into that, but 14 plus years of ecstatic dancing, like 2 or more times a week, is a lot of hours on the dance floor. And essentially, ecstatic dance is a space where people get to be in the body and move freely and explore that free expression, which, when we think about how often do we move through the world and be invited to move however we want to move. When you're walking to the store, are you like throwing your arms up or shaking or like doing some weird spirally movements? Like, probably not.
Mhm.
So ecstatic dance is a space, it's a container where there's a beginning and there's an end. We don't speak on the dance floor. It's usually barefoot. And the music starts and ends slow and then rises into a more activating, climactic, ecstatic state. Towards the middle, it gets more heightened and then it kind of goes back down. And it allows people to go on a journey with
Mhm.
themselves. And that can look a bajillion, million, trillion different ways. It's going to be different, inspired by the music, how you're feeling, all these aspects. So I say every dance is an opportunity to commune with your highest self, with the divine, with your inner world, journey
Mhm.
with yourself. And that can, wow, it's truly infinite possibilities that can come
Mhm.
through. And so
Mhm.
I'll just say, energy dance to me is both that sacred container, and I'll put this word in the ceremony. I teach energy dance. I facilitate it most often in the journey of an energy dance ceremony, which similarly has that container, but it also weaves in a more intentional ceremonial arc, which involves purging and which involves like reclaiming our power and like all these different aspects, which we could go into if you like. But yeah, I kind of talk about these six modules or six core elements, which I teach as modules. Those six core elements are the dance, the body. Number two, the energy work, the ways that we're moving energy. Then we have visualization. The power of visualization alone it blows my mind. I love
Mhm.
that. But using visual imagery to guide the energy and to communicate with spirit, to receive messages also in that sort of activated portal space that channeling space that we're in when we're doing energy dance. Then you have the intention, right? How you're aligning your connection to what you're doing. And then, of course, the music, the vibration, the frequency, both of the tones of the sounds, the rhythms that take you into trance states, the quality and texture of the sounds that moves the energy in different ways. Again, Indigenous people have infinite wealth of ancient knowledge around how different sounds can move energy and clear energy and
Mhm.
activate things in your body. And then the sixth core element I talk about is resonance, and that's that
Mhm.
we attune to that resonant frequency that we're emitting and that we're wanting to align with in the expansive, infinite universe that we are a part of. So
Yeah. So what
there's a
I'm
little snippet
Yeah. And
into.
what I'm hearing is for people who might be familiar with ecstatic dance, where maybe like someone's playing a playlist and you're just moving in whatever way that feels good to you, that's amazing and powerful and great. And the difference that I've experienced in your containers and your facilitation is it's more guided. There is more of a ceremony around it. There is more intention around it. There is more direction of how to connect with yourself, how to connect with music, how to connect with visualization that really take it to a whole other world. I also want to share the reason why I invited you back on the podcast today. And part of why we're having this conversation is because I'm about to go to Italy for a 2 week drum pilgrimage where I will be dancing, playing drums, playing music. And when I thought about, okay, I'm going to be on this journey and I know the power that dance and all of these things have had in my life, I was just so much more fired up to want to be able to offer this same kind of opportunity to more people. So I'm so excited for the collaboration that we have coming up, and we'll talk more about that. And that's why I'm so excited in this podcast episode to really talk about the power of this practice and what's possible through doing energy dance. I want to share too, because this is something that just blows my mind that I've been in containers with you for the past few years now. And speaking of visualization, I remember going through that module with you and really focusing on that in one of our dances. And I had been single for 3 years, like intentionally, and I had just kind of come to this place of, okay, I'm ready for a new relationship. I'm ready to call something in. And in your dance, when you guided, like dropping into this energy and imagining and visualizing what it is you want to create, I just saw myself putting out these like magnet energy waves and praying like, universe, spirit, send me. If there's someone that would support me right now, if there's a connection that would support me, help me find them. And a week later, I found someone and we began an incredible relationship at that time. And it just reminded me there's so much power in this work and setting that intention and what happens when you send out those magnet waves. And I could tell so many other stories, and that's just like one of the first ones that come to mind. Yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, there's a picture behind Erika that has an image of that. And Erika is a tremendous artist and captures the things that she sees in her artwork. So it's so powerful to have those visuals as well. And I would love to hear, do you have any story that comes to your mind right now of, okay, and I, in one energy dance ceremony, I set this intention or something happened, and what was the result of that? Is there anything that's coming to your mind you want to share?
Oh, well, there's so many aspects of
Sure.
all that you just shared that I'm like, ooh, I could add this or say this.
Mm.
I mean, the power of visualization is amazing. It is one of my favorites. And I really do see energy and sense it. And in a way, I was actually explaining to someone yesterday, it's kind of more, it's like imagination too. So I want to, and I say that to help people connect with that more easily because I think some people are like, oh, I don't know how to do visualization. I don't really see things. That's not my superpower or my psychic sense that I feel connected with. And I want to say, it doesn't mean, oh, I see this thing and this, whoa, I'm hallucinating, It's really, it can be more like an idea drops into your mind, like a thought, like cognizance, except it's like an imagery. And so I do want to just kind of demystify that a little bit for people to be like, if you can visualize like a rose blooming in front of you and just see it and experience it and feel it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And that's where my art births from is those experiences, mostly on the dance floor, also in meditation, also images channel through in the art making process as well. But in some ways, so yeah, there's so many experiences I've had. And also because I've been in this practice for so long, there's a way in which it kind of is just like this integrated part of my life. And I don't know, it's hard to choose a story or tell a specific story. What I would love to share is maybe like a few different varieties of examples
Yeah.
of how the medicine of this work lands for people. Because, like, what kinds of experiences, outcomes do people
Mhm.
experience? Because, like you said, it is a powerful tool. If we think about the law of attraction and how people talk about how one can cultivate and manifest things into their life, energy dance holds all those pieces, right? It holds the piece of feeling. That's one, I don't want to spend too much time on this. A lot of people, when they talk about the power of manifesting, it's like you want to feel it in your body. You want to feel that it is already so. I am already healed. I already have this lover in my life. I already have accomplished this meaningful milestone or that I'm working towards or whatever it is. And when we're embodying the vision, whole nother level. And there are so many powerful spiritual practices. And I like blessings and gratitude to all of them. And there's something about being in the body and moving the body that I feel is a key that has been that really has it's like it needs this comeback.
Mm.
So we have been really powerfully socialized and brainwashed to be super focused in our head, in the intellectual mindset. A lot of people don't feel connected to their body at all. Many of us walk around really dissociated. And so, yeah, the power of just being in the body as this practice,
Yeah.
it's like a foundation for everything else. Like you add the prayer, you can add the breath work, you can add the visualization, and all these other pieces can be combined with the sound healing. Like people do sound healing. That's those vibrations going into the body and yet an opportunity to move our bodies freely and let the divine energy channel through us. That's like truly that's where I see the magic happen. So let's see. Here's a speckling of examples of what people experience, myself included in this work. So I guess first and foremost, trauma is stored in the body. And I think probably everyone listening is familiar with that concept now. If not, you can go geek out about trauma. I do it all the time. Yeah, just all the like commonly understood new slash ancient knowledge about trauma is that it is stored in the body. And so when we're shaking and moving and releasing things in the body, we unearth things that have been repressed for a long time. And I say this because that's an important piece of understanding how these kinds of amazing, like mind-blowing transformations happen through dance, through the power of energy dance.
Mhm.
So, for example, this is one of my favorite stories because it's just so fun. One person that attended one dance ceremony with me, just one, it was less than an hour. It was like a short workshop. And he messaged me like a week later, and then a few weeks later, and a few weeks later, and was like, I don't know what's happening to me, but there's this like, I just have this desire to put on a skirt and skip around. And like, it's this feminine energy is like rising up in me.
Mhm.
It's like this whole suppressed part of himself as a man, indoctrinated with this like harsh energy of like feminine energy is weak, don't show that part of yourself. Like he had shut down this whole like balance. We all carry these energies in us, and he had shut down this whole part of himself that awoke in the dance
Mhm.
ceremony. And I should reach out to him and be like, how's it going now, like years later? So that's one example. I have a client that I've been working with quite deeply for some years, and he has had some experiences of like full nervous system reset, like addictive patterns in his life completely vanished for days. And that impacted the relationship with his kids and the relationship with his wife. And like it ripples out into all aspects of his life. I've had people are connecting with ancestors who they've never felt a connection with before. And suddenly they're approached. Just yesterday in a dance and a session I was facilitating, a client shared like having ancestors like holding, touching the shoulder and like communicating and being these new presences in their lives. But essentially, a lot of people share with me this newfound way of relating to their body, relating to energy, right? Even for people who have pretty strong, dedicated, many year long spiritual practices, share, oh my gosh, I've never felt the energy literally channeling through my body. And that I walk around with tools now to call in that energy support to wield energy, right? When I share my story, one of my most, I would say, maybe climactic experiences of calling on these energy dance tools was in a crisis moment in a hospital where a friend's life was hanging by a thread. And I think you've heard me share this story. Literally, this friend was in liminal space and we weren't sure that he was going to make it. And my body knew what to do to tap in and channel, tap into these tools, right? So it's like, when in our lives do we feel like, oh my gosh, like I feel powerless, or I need to just funnel as much transformative healing energy in this moment to this situation, whatever it is, as I possibly can. And I was able to do that, like lightning bolts of energy in rhythm with the defibrillator. Long story short, this dear friend woke up days later, no brain damage, no, like it was a miracle. Like,
Mhm.
I won't go into all the details, but miracles happen, right? Because we live in this divine universe. And I know I didn't really share too many stories here about my own transformation, but I'll just do this one. I'll share this one and then I'll leave it there. But I have a lot of gut healing that I've been working with, and I feel the connection to past life, to like ancestral lineage traumas, to there's a deep vortex of icky, sticky, gunky stuff in there that is wanting to be cleared. And when I go really deep in there, and I use the energy and the music and the spirals, I go deep, deep into those places. I literally purge. I like, if people who are familiar with plant medicine, where sometimes the medicine helps you purge out something that's no longer needed, whether it's through vomiting or tears or goes out the other end. Like there's many ways of purging. And literally without any other ingested substance, I induce vomiting when I'm like at a festival on a dance floor. I literally make myself I'm not trying to make myself vomit, but through the work I'm doing, my body goes into convulsion. I start sweating, I get nauseous, and I purge on the dance floor. And to me, that's a powerful example of, wow, the energy dance as this powerful healing force
Mhm.
that's our power. It's
Yeah.
activating each of our own power. So,
Yeah.
oh, that's amazing.
And what I'm hearing across the board and everything that you shared so far is really being able to use this practice as a way to tap into your innate wisdom, power, all of the things that are available to us that maybe we've been conditioned to shut down or not access. And I know so many of my clients, and I see it in people who are so used to suppressing emotions, numbing out, avoiding, not wanting to face reality or face their emotions, and using all these other distractions, medications, alcohol, sex, food, all these other things. And energy dance is a way to clear those things, to face those things, and to help release the buildup that can happen when we avoid them. And I can imagine someone like hearing what you're saying about like purging on the dance floor. Like, what? Like, I don't want to be vomiting on a dance floor.
Don't worry. If you feel it coming, you can change course. But for me, I'm like, ooh, go deeper, go deeper. Let's do this healing. Come on.
Yeah. And I also think that, like any practice, this can meet you where you are. And day one, you might not be in a corner like purging and vomiting on the dance floor. Like maybe day one, it's just like you feeling your body, you being present in your body in a new way. And you talked about self expression, and like most people aren't walking down the street like waving their arms around or like doing whatever. Again, I know so many people, and as they come into Sparkle Space for the first time, this fear of letting themselves be seen in their humanness, like putting their guards down, putting their masks down, and just showing up however they're feeling and really allowing themselves to be expressed that way, even just to themselves, let alone in a crowd of other people.
Mhm.
So, even just to yourself is so healing and such a deep gift to give yourself space to express your body. And like we talked about, yeah, we can work with the mind, we can work with our thoughts, we can work with beliefs. That's transformational. There's all kinds of other spiritual practices, meditation, all kinds of things. And there's something unique about working with the body and
Mhm.
working with our energy and our emotions in this way.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it's just so powerful hearing you share
Yeah.
all those stories.
Okay, yeah. I would love to speak to that because, yeah, this practice can meet each person where you are. And I love to is something that a lot of people fear, that people avoid. It's like our society, we've been so conditioned to be like, oh, what do I look like? Are my dance moves cute? Oh, everyone's judging me. A lot of people throw out the phrase like dance like nobody's watching. It's because because there is all this built up barrier from society. And so I'll just give a few examples here. In the same program, I've had like professional dancers, highly experienced energy workers, and people who grew up in a cult who have never danced in their life. Okay, so we have people who are like both super experienced on some of these levels and also people who are like completely new, like literally in their 50s and 60s and have never danced before.
Mm.
And these people and professional dancers, highly trained energy workers. And oh my goodness, they each get so much out of it, right? So, and feel like, ooh, like I literally say no experience necessary because you really don't. Like I said at
Mhm.
the beginning, like it already lives in your body.
Mm.
And so it's every dance is an opportunity to commune with the self, with the body, with the divine, and with your life journey. Like you said, like to receive messages or inspiration to guide you. This podcast, Follow Your Spark, right? We're also seeking those insights, that inspiration, that wisdom, those aha moments that can shift the direction of your purpose. Like that's another thing. People receive a lot of clarity, like
Mm.
their life purpose and why they're here and, who they are, right? Because also we are put into these boxes by the expectations that society puts on us of who we're supposed to be, how we're supposed to act, what kind of things we're supposed to do and bring to the world. And it's so limiting. And so these practices can really open and shake people up to break down those barriers and reclaim and remember and activate the truth of who they are. Like your spiritual gifts get activated and awakened in this practice.
Yeah.
Your trauma gets shooken loose and released. So in really big ways. So I do want to say, if for people who are like, this sounds really intimidating and kind of scary, and I don't know that I even want to have such big, powerful experiences, like, or I feel nervous to dance, or, ooh, I don't know, I've never really thought about energy. Can I do that? Or if you're saying like, oh, I have a lot of experience in these arenas, but what's there for me in energy dance? There's so much for you. And you mentioned it's a guided space, it's a guided journey, and it's freeform movement.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm never saying move your arm here and do it this way, but I'm offering ideas and inspiration, visualizations, like different sounds of the music and different parts, like the arc, the ceremonial arc. I guide people through a healing journey, but then what you're focusing your healing journey on, what aspect of something you want to release, something you want to reclaim, what new self you want to rise into, embody, and own in your own power. That is, it's the choose your own journey. So it's both for ecstatic dancers who are used to just like being totally free and moving however they want. And they're like, ooh, I don't want to be like guided. I don't want this voice like telling me. But then when they experience it, it's, oh, actually, I kind of heard your voice kind of like in and out. And like I was both on my own journey, but it gave me this guidance to go deep and have a focused journey. You can go to ecstatic dance and be like, oh, I mean, obviously you wouldn't be talking, but you're like, I'm feeling my freedom, I'm embodying, like, ooh, oh, I have this thought, oh, cool. It's like you can journey. And that's how energy dance came through me. Is like I was journeying on the dance floor by myself. And yet when you have that, yeah, focus space. So I just wanted to say all of that for people, like wherever you're coming from, don't let little bits of fear, which come from it's like that's what this practice is for, honestly. Like when people come to me and they're like, ooh, I don't know if I'm ready, I'm just so self-conscious still when I move, I'm like, perfect. Like this is a practice for you. And I teach in person and online. And so for some people it's, ooh, let's do the online, I can have my camera off and do the thing where I'm dancing like nobody's watching, no one can see me. And yet they realize, actually, I felt so comfortable to have my camera on, because it's
Mm-hmm.
not about what you look like, it's about
Mm-hmm.
the journey.
Yeah. And everything that you shared was exactly why I wanted to invite you into this Solstice Portal collaboration. And I am so excited for this 2 week container that's coming up June 16th. And everything that you talked about of like energy dance has the power to help you clarify your vision, activate your gifts, step into your power. I really wanted to create a container where people have time to really explore that. So in this 2 weeks together, we have your dance, we have the fabulous Corinne Becker leading a guided shamanic journey. If you missed the last podcast episode, check that out to hear more about her story. And then you have 2 weeks of Telegram support. It's a chat, if you're not familiar with that app, where there'll be guided reflection questions, invitations for people in the community to share. So you're not just left unsupported after Erika's dance or after this guided journey. You have time and space to explore these things that will inevitably come up. And being in a container where you get to hear other people's experiences and be supported by all of these incredibly powerful facilitators is life changing. Erika said someone came to one of her dances that was 20 minutes and they're like completely transformed and all of these things are opening up. So I just cannot wait. I called it the Solstice Portal because I 100% believe who you walk in at the beginning of this 2 week container is not who you will be at the other side of it. So I'm so excited for that. And if you're listening and you're like, oh my gosh, I want in, go to ginacasbaro.com/solstice portal to get all the details and join us. It's $50 for this 2 weeks. You can bring a friend for free. I am just so lit up by the power of this. I want to share it with as many people as possible. So, Erika, I'm just so grateful that you said yes to being a part of this experience.
Yeah, just echo everything that you said about that the powerful portal of transformation. Like one dance, one journey is it can really catalyze so much transformation. I mean,
Mhm.
as you when you mentioned one 20-minute dance ceremony, and we're going to do a longer one, but even a 20-minute, even I have a friend many years ago, I was at an event where each person did like a 7-minute offering. It was 7 minutes. And she wrote me a testimonial. She was already a somatic therapist. Now she teaches dance, like dance healing. And she literally 7 minutes. And the way she like reoriented to sensing her body and feeling energy come through her body. She has had a lot of trauma in her life. So, hence becoming a somatic therapist because she knew that the trauma's in the body and that's where the healing comes. Song, went dance, transformed her whole relationship with her body and movement and how she, and it's like her whole course of her life adjusted because of that. I won't say it like completely changed course, like but yeah, it's like I'm really excited for this offering because week one will be with Corinne and go deep on this journey. And then people will be really primed with like also a week of reflection from that, then be really primed to move and
Yeah.
shake and journey with that. And I will be at Corinne's event as well on that journey as well. And so everything from also people's experiences, I will be drawing from when I teach. I'm in the moment with everybody.
Mhm.
And people always reflect, wow, you were so in sync with what I was thinking and doing already. Like I was starting to feel this, and then you said this, and I'm like, why? There's an energetic magic in the container that happens.
Mhm.
And actually, if you're open to hearing like the bigger why of
Mhm.
why I do this work, it has to do with the power of the collective, the power of the
Mhm.
container. Because we as individuals, and I'm always saying this, like, you are a powerful divine being. And actually, for anyone who is watching on YouTube, this is a mug that I made printed with my artwork that says, you are a powerful divine being. You can order one on Etsy. It has some images of my art of people channeling energy and a reminder that says,
Mhm.
let's wield infinite source energy for healing and radical change. So if you need that reminder every day with your morning drink, that's there for you. The point being, we, each of us are powerful divine beings. And when our powers combined,
Mhm.
we amplify. We are more than the sum of the parts. Again, indigenous people all over the world have known the power of that collective dreaming, that collective prayer, that collective visioning, right? Where we're all holding a similar vision or we're all holding the same prayer, whatever it may be. I know some people don't like the word prayer, and I get it. There's a lot of trauma from somewhat oppressive style, corrupted aspects of religious beliefs. Anyway, just acknowledging that. But in whatever way, when there are scientific studies that prove this ancient knowledge, that when people come together and hold a shared intention, massive change happens. And so for me, my bigger vision and
Mhm.
why I do this work is to be facilitating energy dance ceremonies with larger groups of people, even smaller. I mean, again, like there's studies that show even the power of two or more amplifies the field. So when we're in this container together in a group, each of us in our energy amplifies the healing of everybody in the space.
Okay.
We're going to be in that portal with this group for 2 weeks, connecting and together, amplifying. And even in the way that I facilitate, we always do a sharing circle at the end as well to hear from each other's experiences. And so much wisdom comes from that as well. I'm excited that the Telegram chat is going to order that
Mhm.
because we'll be witnessing each other because we're all in this collective healing field too.
Yeah.
And so what one person is healing from also will spark some inspiration and some healing for us as well. So yeah, really powerful group portal here.
100%. And I also feel like I'm in one of your containers right now and I can't come to any of the experiences live. And I still feel connected to that web of the energy that we're all creating. And again, that's why this Telegram channel is there, because if you can't come live, it's totally fine. You can
Mhm.
still experience the magic watching the recording and participating. I'm not going to be there live. I'm going to be in Italy dancing and drumming and praying with all of you at all of these sacred sites across Sicily. I'll be in a Telegram chat connecting and sharing what's coming up for me, the same as everyone else. And there's so much power of feeding off of each other like that and being with people all over the world. I've had people in these different containers from Europe and across the United States,
Mhm.
everywhere,
Mhm.
Australia coming
Same. Yeah.
together. So we'll all be in that together. And I see it in every single container that I've created, that I've been in many times, of the signs and synchronicities that come through are like just what every person needs to hear and sparks like the exact wisdom that they needed. So even if it didn't come from their own brain,
Mhm.
it came through someone else, and
Mm.
just so many beautiful synchronicities unfold.
Yeah, yeah. I like to say, who is this work for? Who needs us right now? And overall, like as you've heard, there's so many ways that this work can impact you. Like in an energy dance ceremony, you can have an intention to focus on a certain thing, and like the story of the guy, all this feminine energy arose. It's like you also, I guide people to both have an intention and
Mm.
be open to the mystery of what's in highest alignment
Mm.
for your
Yeah.
healing, your journey right now. And whether you feel like you're in a time of transformation or not, like we're always changing for one, but especially if you're in a time of wanting more clarity about who you are or like what your life, what, why you're here and what you want to do. Again, like I tell people, like, we are our the oppressive society that we live in does not want us to reflect on our power, does not want us to reflect on our higher soul's purpose for being here, right? Like during the pandemic, a lot of people did some reflection and quit their corporate jobs and like whatever it may be. For me, it's really about fulfillment, like
Mm.
spiritual fulfillment in one's life. And I think we're living in times that are considered dark, heavy times. There's so much anxiety, fear, depression, anger, like intensity, grief, so much grief in the air, in the collective, in our bodies. And so
Mm.
when we get to move that, I facilitate dance ceremonies sometimes that's called grieve, rage, and pray. And like we need to move those stuck emotions, those repressed energies in us. So, like, for whatever reason, whatever's going on in your life, whether you need to move some big emotions, alchemize something, unearth some trauma, reprogram, release stories of limiting beliefs and reprogram them to align with a sense of true self power. That's what we're going to do. People report feeling just wow. I know you got me reflecting earlier. How has energy dance impacted, changed my life? I mean, we could do a whole podcast interview about that, but truly, like in simple form, I don't know who I would be,
Mm.
or I don't know to what extent I would be still so repressed, I should say. I'm still me. Like the me is always here. My soul essence is always been me and will always be. Yet, like through energy dance, I've tapped into this sense of an inner warrior, this like
Mm.
sense of expansive power. Like I was a shy kid. I did not dance. I was so self-conscious. Like I so kind of gentle and so kind, and I'm still that. And I'm like, like I feel this connection to that warrior spirit that I wouldn't have known otherwise. And like you said, this operate every week. I'm at multiple times a week. I'm like cathartic, like shaking, releasing stuff that builds up. And when we don't do that, when we have repressed energies shut down in us that don't have that place to move, it literally physically makes us sick.
Yeah.
And this is also a well known thing. A lot of people talk about that. If you don't let yourself express anger, it can turn into a life threatening disease. And that's no joke. So,
So powerful.
Come on, get your energy dance.
Yeah.
Get your journey. Sign up now.
Yeah. I hear it from so many of my clients, this desire to, we have one life, and to want to be able to live this life without regrets and know that you expressed yourself fully, you pursued what mattered most to you, you felt powerful, you felt capable. That's what people want the most. And if you're listening to this and you're like, yeah, I want that, and you've been feeling held back in any way, this portal can be a catalyst for you. So if there's something in this conversation that has resonated with you, go to ginakaspar.com/solstice hyphen portal to come join us. Bring a friend. Amplifying things in community just expands that exponentially. So I know I cannot wait to be there with you. I know Erika cannot wait to be there with you. And yeah, it's just come join us. And if you want to learn anything more about Erika, her website, where you can find her art, all of that will be in the show notes. So check that out. And Erika, is there anything, any last messages or words of wisdom you want to share with people that's coming through with you?
Mm. You know, what's first coming up is just, we got this. We're in this time of doom scrolling and horrific live streamed atrocities in our face happening around the world. A lot of fear, a lot of heaviness. There's so much reason to not want to get out of bed every day. And at the same time, there's this wave of spiritual awakening that is happening. It's like we're in this time of remembering, reclaiming, reactivating that truth that is already in us. And so if you have any little excuses coming up, oh, but that's not me. Oh, but I can't. Oh, I don't know how. Oh, that's cool. You all feel so connected to yourselves. Great. Good for you. Like, I just want to take a moment to notice if you're having any hesitations, feeling intimidated, any excuses, or maybe you're like, oh, I already know all of that. Maybe that's where you're at too. Great. That's awesome. You feel so confident and awakened in yourself. I celebrate that. And like this is a lifelong journey, honestly. Don't put me on a pedestal either. I'm still on this lifelong journey. Gina's still on this lifelong journey. All of us, like, we're in the messiness of being humans. And I truly, like, I feel horrified by so many things happening in the world. And I have this unwavering hope because we are divine beings and we are powerful. And when we come together, we're even more powerful. And I truly believe that. And I believe in the power of our collective intention and the power of visualization. And yeah, it's like the combination of the work that you do, Gina, and I get to receive your medicine, and it helps me in so many ways too. Like we are all here to share our gifts. And so to all of you listening, you have gifts to share. And I know that's so much of the work you do, Gina, is bring people into deeper relationship with their gifts and help them create that life where their gifts get to shine and that spark gets to blaze. And so believe in yourself and the bigger picture of why you're here. And also, that doesn't mean you have to go out there and be some incredible famous leader with all these followers. Like, being your highest awakened self can look so many different ways, right? Being in the energy, like I've been talking about this a lot lately, the energetic vibration that we each give off, we are impacting and influencing the world all the time. And so what is that energetic frequency? We were talking about that yesterday. The energetic frequency we bring the world is an impact that we share. And like, how can we take responsibility and ownership for being ourselves? And that said, all the things we bring, the heaviness and the light is the medicine too. So also don't shame yourself if you're in a bad mood and you're emanating that frequency out to the world.
Yeah.
Like, we're all swimming in it. So yeah,
So
it's
good.
powerful. It's
Yeah.
so
So
fun.
to sum it up, wherever you're at, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're working on, whatever you want to call into your life, it is all welcome in this container.
Yeah.
And we
No
just,
excuses.
yeah.
I just want to do one little thing because for people, I just want to say this one thing too. Some people are like, shamanic journey and energy dance ceremonies online? Come
Mm,
on. I do this in person. I don't need to do online stuff. I
mm,
just want to say the energy is beyond time and space. When we are in a container online, it's just as powerful. It's powerful. I mean, sure, being in person has a different vibe and there's a different energy and different kinds of ways of connecting are possible. But the online portal doesn't actually limit the power of the energy of being together and what happens there. So I know a lot of people in my like embodiment communities that are like, I have plenty of opportunity to do things in person. Why would I come to an online thing?
mm,
It really can change your life. And what I say is these are the opportunities to learn the tools, to gain the wisdom, to get the insight. Like I'm dropping tools for you to bring into your tool belt. When I teach energy dance, everything I'm saying is for you to take home and bring into your daily practices, whether you go to ecstatic dance or you go to music festivals and you want to bring those tools into the
mhm.
dance space, there for you. So just want to dismantle all your excuses
Yes.
so you don't miss out on the power of your own transformation. So, okay, thank
Mm.
you. I wanted to say that too.
So good. I love it. Well, Erica, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us. And I cannot wait to experience this portal with you.
Also, find me on all the online things and the Instagram and everything. My artist name is Rise Up with Heart. So I just want to name drop that Rise Up with
Mhm.
Heart, Hart. And I really love connecting with people. So also just reach out to me. And
Mm.
I'm so grateful, Gina. I'm so grateful and excited for these opportunities coming up.
Yes. All
Thank
right.
you.
We'll see you soon.